This is a quick one, but I think it's really funny. So you've heard of this guy called MrBeast? I take it at some point, maybe. I heard of him yesterday. So MrBeast, huge YouTuber, of course. Elon Musk has, since he bought Twitter, been trying to make it a social media platform for monetized content creation the same way that other, like YouTube is, basically. Over here on YouTube, obviously there are ad buyouts, and a YouTuber will get like a portion of the ad revenue based on the views. And there's a lot of like complicated behind the scenes stuff, but fundamentally it is a workable system. It works, it functions, Twitter, on the other hand, hasn't worked. The main reason Twitter hasn't worked is because A, the views you might get on a tweet have very little to do with any kind of promotional value on that tweet, Like, a video can run an ad beforehand. If you just look at a tweet by scrolling past it, like, what ad did you look at? Who's paying for you to do that? Like, what's the monetary incentive there? Sure, ads do get run on Twitter, but they get run between tweets. You've seen that, right? While scrolling Twitter, you'll have tweet, ad, tweet, ad. And now because all the real advertisers have left Twitter, the ads are for like dildos or like crypto scams or whatever. So here's a question. Who does that ad revenue go to? Like, how do you incentivize people to produce content on the platform based on that ad revenue? Because the ads are being shown between tweets, not on tweets. Does that make sense? Like, how should the tiny amount of money that viewing of that ad procured be split up? Well, the system that Elon Musk has devised in his infinite wisdom, there is a finite pot of money. I don't know how much it is exactly. And people with blue check marks who have a certain minimum amount of engagement all get an amount of money from that pot based on a proportion of the total, depending on how many engagements they got from other blue check marks. That is to say, if you and a bunch of other people are all making banger tweets that only get seen by non-blue check marks, none of you get any money. If you and your buddies are all getting some ad revenue split between you because you are getting blue check marks to engage with your tweets, but then some new account shows up on Twitter and ends up getting a ton of attention from blue check marks, they then take money from you. See, that's the difference. On YouTube, I don't make less money because another YouTuber put out a banger video. On Twitter, if a new Twitter account shows up and gets a ton of engagement, it's a zero-sum game, which is a really bad way of handling things. So, for a while now, Elon Musk has been trying to get MrBeast to post his extremely expensive, highly produced YouTube videos on Twitter as a way of driving it as a kind of, a place people will go to see his content. Ridiculous at the face of things. Have you tried using YouTube's video player? Comparing it to like Twitter's video player? Insane. Like anyone would go to Twitter as a video platform. But as a matter of, I guess, like, to try it out or whatever, MrBeast posted an older video of his to Twitter. $1 car versus $100 million car. I'm curious how much ad revenue a video on Twitter would make, so I'm re-uploading this to test it. We'll share ad revenue next week. This was being done at the behest of Elon Musk. He was begged to do it. 156 million impressions, 5 million engagements, $250,000 revenue. Now, at the face of things, that seems like a lot, but $250,000 in revenue for a MrBeast video on a platform is actually not that much. I mean, considering the margin he runs on, like he's a big roller, so it's not that much. That being said, I saw people complaining that they were getting given the MrBeast video as like an unannounced ad because Elon Musk was personally boosting the fuck out of it, Elon Musk was like in the comments, and he literally controls the website, and he has done this exact thing before where I got the ad like 4 times. Yeah, like literally like boosting the revenue because he wants MrBeast to be on the platform posting videos, and he wants MrBeast to be like bait for other people, like, oh man, look how much money you can make here. Okay. So that's what happened. Even MrBeast qualifies this. But it's a bit of a facade. Advertisers saw the attention it was getting and bought ads in my video, I think, and thus my revenue per view is probably higher than what you'd experience. So maybe there were ads that were running on his video specifically, but a lot of the attention and engagement that he got was because Elon Musk is desperately using him as a hook to try to bring people on. But remember what I said earlier about how there's a finite amount of money, a finite pool from which this money is produced? Look at some of these tweets of people complaining. Yeah, what the fuck, Elon? Literally gave you all our ad rev because we got nothing, Lamau. Interesting. I got $102.57. Sorry, I forgot we're not dealing with millions here. $102.57 for 30 million impressions. You literally got everyone's revenue. It's a limited pool. Thanks for that. Is that why mine was lower, even though I had almost 1 million more impressions? So it's very likely, very possible, there's no reason to believe this doesn't happen, that Elon Musk not only promoted the video heavily on the back end to make sure more people saw it in a desperate attempt to get MrBeast to stay on the platform, but also overpaid him as a proportion of the existing. Now, so assuming all of that's true, is that legal? I think that is illegal. That's got to be some kind of fraud between the ad thing and the misrepresenting the payment. There's got to be something to that. But I'm not even making a legal argument, you know? I'm not even making the argument I'm making here is not like a lawyers. I'm not calling mods on this guy. Okay? All I'm saying is that first of all, it's indicative of the level of desperation present here. Second of all, this strategy was intended to bait more people into becoming blue check marks to supplement Twitter's dying income and revenue stream. And it just seems like it's making people mad. Remarkable. Oh, wait, yeah, I can just repeat this verbatim. H-bomb, don't come after me. This gambit was supposed to trick non-blue checks into buying Twitter Premium, but instead even the blue checks are mad. I did some math, but the Twitter video was 0.05 cents per view compared to YouTube's per view? You mean per impression? This? Or per engagement? What do you mean? Twitter and YouTube count views differently. This is one of the reasons why views are always so ridiculously high for everything on Twitter. The reason they made view counts visible is because Elon wanted to trick everyone into thinking the site was getting more attention than it actually is. A tweet will get a view anytime you see it. If you scroll past it, go scroll to it, open a thread, congrats, you've added 20 views to it, you know? Sometimes tweets will get views without having been viewed by anyone. I tried that myself. I made another account. I tweeted something. I was on private. Nobody could look at it. I didn't look at it for a few weeks. I came back to it and it had a dozen views. It's a bullshit number, you know? I don't know what exactly their back-end engagement math is. I think they count a view in a video past 2 seconds, but videos autoplay when you scroll past them. Do you think an advertiser would want to buy an ad on a platform where views are counted as 2 seconds of it autoplaying while muted? You don't even have to click on anything. You're just scrolling through a feed and a video shows up and it plays for 2 seconds and now it's passed. Do you think they want to pay for ads on videos like that? Not likely, which is probably why, Twitter revenue is plummeting. Since we're dunking on Elon already, can we point out that someone who put 10K miles on his dumb truck did the math on their actual range and got about 200 miles of charge for what was supposed to be about 320? Really? Oh, man. Cybertruck owners are reportedly barely 200 miles per charge. Reporting. That wedge shape may not be as aerodynamic as Elon Musk hoped. But can it be used as a boat the way he promised? No way, the block isn't aerodynamic. Yeah, you're telling me this wasn't made in accordance with the highest level of aerodynamic engineering? How much does one charge cost? Well, it's electricity, so probably not that much. I think it's more about the convenience of its range, you know? I wonder if there will be a class action. If it turns out that he massively overstated, in this case it would be overstated by what, 40%? No, wait. Overstated by, because you'd go from 200 to 320, so it'd be an overstatement of 60% of the charge. Wonder if that would make people mad enough to sue. Just straight up lied. He does do that a lot. How is Musk not in prison yet when he scams so many people? Because you can just do that. If you're rich, you can just be a scam artist. That's it. It's all PR, you know? Also, he's basically hidden behind the entire Republican Party. Historically, this is how super wealthy people get away with the shit they do. Money is one thing, but you can't just buy power, not directly. You need some kind of connections, and in his case, he's become a right-wing culture war warrior, you know? And for that reason, any efforts to go after him now will be seen as a partisan effort to stop him in his effort to destroy the woke or whatever. Seriously, he's very active politically now. It's all he does. Tech billionaire Elon Musk said he will fund legal challenges to Ireland's new hate speech legislation. He's everywhere, you know? He's like literally like the global international vanguard of conservatism. I was going to say bank account, but he doesn't fund anything. Didn't he say this before? Didn't he before say that he would fund anyone's legal challenges to something? What and it never happened. What was it? What was the previous thing that he said he was going to fund lawsuits for, but it never actually happened? Canada's law, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. He says so much shit that never happens, like all the time. He constantly does. But yeah, no, Hyperloop has defrauded multiple cities. Like, there's so much stuff that he and his companies have done that are just like objectively illegal, but who wants to go after him? You know, I think a lot of people are just scared to, because they think that because he's wealthy, he'd buy the best lawyers, but I don't think he would. I think he would do the Trump thing where he would find, like, he would get appealed to by stupid grifter lawyers who are like, yeah, man, for only $1 million an hour, I will defend you against the woke or whatever. It was for people who were fired for tweets. Oh, that's right. Yeah, people were being fired for saying like the N-word on Twitter. And he was like, I will pay for your legal fees. And then he didn't. It didn't happen. I remember that. An Elon Musk promise is worth literally nothing. It's worth the opposite of... Bro had DeSantis announce his presidential run on Twitter, which was held up for 30 minutes by technical delays, and he just dropped out. He said right before Vivek dropped out, I think Vivek's going to do really well. Like, Elon Musk is like a fortune teller by opposite, you know? Anything he claims to be the case has to be wrong. Since we're dunking on Tesla here, this wasn't meant to be an anti-Elon Musk thing, like, broadly. It's just he does so many stupid, bad things all the time that anytime he gets mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, in the past week, here's like 8 news articles about different terrible things he's done. Tesla owners say EV batteries won't charge as brutally cold temperatures hit Chicago. Curious. Some cases being left stranded. Tesla's literally like the car you can't open if it's too cold, right? That's every car in Chicago? True, that might just be an every car thing. He also said he's Jewish by... Okay, that's enough. Links, thank you. Elon Musk said he's Jewish by association after Auschwitz visit, sees almost no anti-Semitism. I'm aspirationally Jewish, Musk said, the apartheid white South African. So I was like, what are people talking about with this anti-Semitism? Because I never hear it at dinner conversations. I have twice as many Jewish friends as non-Jewish friends. I'm like Jewish by association. He's like so clumsily trying. What is Blood waffling about? Okay. They made anti-Semitic memes about him. He's lost the Nazis. Yeah, I'm not playing this, but I think I get it. Yeah, it's so the thing you have to remember about Elon Musk is that he's actually genuinely retarded. Not in some like euphemistic way. I mean, like his brain, his cognitive processes are subnormal. I genuinely think that he it's like actually like people will say stuff like, well, I think that like George W. Bush is a retard. And sure, he is for sure. But like, if you actually do the IQ bit or whatever, he's probably fine, you know? The issues with George W. Bush aren't literally that he's an idiot. There's like a bunch of other stuff. I think Elon Musk actually just is like cognitively, you know? It might be ketamine, who knows? Anyway, the main thing here is that Elon Musk is a desperate, pathetic sycophant with no spine who will plead for the attention and favor of any group he thinks will give him praise. For a long time, that's been conservatives, but he's also not managed to fulfill any of the promises he made to them. He hasn't defeated woke. He hasn't turned Twitter into like a bulwark of conservatism. He can't because there are laws that limit his abilities to do so, and it's also just difficult to control a platform that directly. It's also bad for business, you know? So in the absence of all of that, he's kind of like, his interest has waned. Have you not noticed the conservatives have been jerking him off a lot less lately? So now he's been doing the whole... At first, he was waffling on the Israel-Hamas bit, because on one hand, a lot of conservatives are Zionists, but on the other hand, a lot of Nazis like him. And he, either knowingly or stupidly, unconsciously, wants to... He's like pulled between that. But Netanyahu brought him to Israel, and after that, he started saying, yeah, from the river to the sea is genocidal, whatever. Because he'll just say anything that he's heard recently. He's like Joe Rogan. And now he's over there doing a like pro-Zionism bit where they're pretending that anti-Zionism is like being Auschwitz or whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm like Jewish, basically. Yeah, all my friends are Jewish. I'm Jewish. I've never even seen any anti-Semitism because I'm like, so he grew up dealing with a lot of anti-Semitism, by the way. By dealing with, I mean being adjacent to. I promise you, apartheid era, white South African, I guarantee you that his dad and the company of the people around, insane anti-Semitism. I guarantee you he's seen a ton of it, but he'll just say whatever, you know. So now he's desperately doing a bid to appeal to Zionists, especially after the trouble that he got in and the advertisers that left the platform after he openly agreed with that Jewish question tweet. But the Nazis are going to lose him now. So I guarantee you that at some point in the near future, he's going to whiplash back around, and he's going to say some like weird white nationalist like birth rate shit in an attempt to get them to like him again. You know, that's it. It's just insecure. How does Ben Shapiro, an Orthodox Jew, let him say this? Ben Shapiro doesn't give a fuck about Judaism. Ben Shapiro's job is to launder anti-Semitism in the American right wing. He already did. Yeah, but he's going to do it again. This is so pathetic. I'm aspirationally Jewish, Musk continued. So I was like, what are people talking about with this anti-Semitism? Because I never hear it at dinner conversations. It's like an absurdity, at least in my friend circles. This literally sounds like an It's Always Sunny bit. No, Mac learns about like racism and there's a black guest at the dinner table. So he's like, racist, I don't even know what that is. When I first heard about racism, I mean, none of my friends have been racist. So I was like, what is that? Like, it's literally a bit, but he's doing it unironically. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, I almost accused my boy Charlie of doing that. He wouldn't do that. Mac would do that though. Yeah, race. People have said I'm black. You know, people have said none of my friends have ever been racist. I don't even know what you mean. Black people have said that I'm like spiritually black because you know, like I can play basketball, and I'm just doing an It's Always Sunny bit right now, but at my own expense. You did vote for Joe. That's true. Is it an exaggeration to say that Musk is a neo-Nazi? Musk probably believes some things that Nazis believe. But much like Donald Trump, ideologically, I don't think he's a Nazi. I think that he's pathetic and craven and weak-willed and spineless, and that he will desperately say or do anything to appeal to people who will give him the head pats and the good boy praise. Much like Donald Trump, though Elon Musk is a lot more pathetic than Trump. They're both very similar to each other. They're both multi-billionaire, like right-wing reactionaries who appeal to a fascist base for the applause. But I think that Donald Trump is a showman. He's insecure, but he's a showman. You know, he likes the attention. He likes the cheers from the crowd. I think that Elon Musk is like actually desperate, like Craven, you know? Like Elon Musk mentally is on some like Homelander shit. He is just like Donald Trump won't say anything. He'll say some things. He'll make shit up. But I think when Donald Trump is making shit up for applause, he knows he's doing it, and he's doing it as part of I'm a showman bit. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think he's sincere. I think he knows he's making a lot of it up, and I think he's doing it in this kind of like contemptuous circus performer, like, look at the crowd, don't they love me, don't they love my statements thing. I think that Elon like genuinely is like sitting over his desk, like ketamine high, sweating profusely, thinking like, why don't they like me after I said that thing, and getting like actually upset about it, and like desperately scrolling Twitter for something to agree with so that he can get another boost of dopamine to look at the replies from people saying that he's so right or so true. I think he's way more weak-willed than Donald Trump. He really is like the worst of us, like truly like a pathetic person, an inferior human, you know? It really is, it really puts to myth the idea of the bourgeois being in any way deserving of their wealth or power. I think you could take his wealth and power and give it to anyone at all, and just probabilistically, just like roll the dice. I think they'd be better at it. You know, maybe you'd find something worse. I think for the most part you wouldn't, though. He's just like an exceptionally inferior he's holistically inferior. I'm running out of word. I insult people I dislike a lot, so I feel like I'm running out. But Elon Musk really does occupy like a specific place in my mind. There are Nazis and fascists. There are like genociders, all of whom have more spine. Netanyahu is more of a spine than Elon Musk, but Elon Musk would do what Netanyahu has done if it gave him any semblance of applause. Like, that's the difference. Like, any monstrous thing you could attribute to any other person, Elon Musk would do it, but he would do it almost for worse reasons. He would like for empty reasons. It's sad. If nothing else, you can take some consolation with the knowledge that he is miserable. Would Elon commit genocide if given that power? He is unambiguously pro what Israel is doing right now, just for like a little bit of Twitter clout. Like, absolutely, he would do anything. Yeah, 100%. Men like him are the most dangerous, I think, because you can't even trust them to operate on some kind of principle. Donald Trump has it with what he leans in towards. At the very least, Donald Trump doesn't allow himself to be controlled very easily. Netanyahu is a genocidal piece of shit, but there is some kind of historical continuity to what he's doing. You can predict what he's going to do. There's like a foundation or like a structure that he occupies that allows for some kind of external assessment.